common use of chamomile as tea, benefits on bathing, and anti-anxiety impacts are uploaded on YouTube channel. So it is essential video on cultivation of chamomile and important for those interested in regular use in or in commercial production. Soil and climate requirement. German chamomile can be grown on any type of soil, but growing the crop on rich, heavy, and damp soils should be avoided. It can also withstand cold weather with temperature ranging from 2 degree to 20 degrees centigrade. The crop has been grown very successfully on the poor soils, loamy sand. The crop has been grown successfully on soil with a pH of 9. Soils with a pH at 9 to 9.2 are reported to support its growth. In Hungary, it grows extensively on clay lime soil, which are barren lands and considered to be too poor for any other crop. Temperature and light conditions have greater effect on essential oils and isolene content than soil type. Chamomile possesses a high degree of tolerance to soil alkalinity. The plants accumulate fairly large quantity of sodium, 66 mg per 100 gram of dry material, which helps in reducing the salt concentration in the topsoil. Under cooler conditions in Finland, the quantity of the oxide type in the essential oil was lower than in Hungary. Propagation. First, by seed. Sowing. The plant is propagated by seeds. The seeds of the crop are very minute in size. 1,000 of seeds weigh 0.088 to 0.153 gram. About 0.3 to 0.5 kg of clean seed with a high germination percent is sown in an area of 200 to 250 meters square. Gives enough seedlings for stocking a hectare of land. The crop can be grown by two methods: direct sowing of the seed and transplanting. Moisture conditions in the field for direct sowing of seeds must be very good, otherwise a patchy or poor germination is obtained, as direct sowing of seeds usually result in poor germination. The transplanting method is generally followed. The mortality of the seedling is almost negligible in transplanting. The optimum temperature for good germination lies between 10 to 20 degrees. Nursery beds were prepared by applying good quality of farmyard manure and compost and kept moist. The most appropriate time for raising seedlings in the nursery is soon after the cessation of monsoon in North India, that is during the month of September. Seed germination starts within 4 to 5 days of sowing and the seedling area ready for transplanting within 4 to 5 weeks. Seedling older than 5 weeks should not be transplanted. It results in a poor and more indifferent crops. Study revealed that the transplanting the crop was better than direct sowing, and the bed time to transplant the crop was found to be from October 10 to 18. For getting higher yield, transplanting should not be delayed beyond the end of October. Jaleski reports that the different sowing times affect the shifting of the harvesting time, but do not affect the oil and chamomile content significantly. The work on crop geometry shows that transplanting the crop at narrow spacing of 15, 20, and 30 centimeters gave the highest yield of flower. Datta and Singer reported that the highest yields of fresh flowers and oil content was obtained under 30 centimeters scale spacing. In case of variety, with a spreading habit of growth, a wider spacing of 40 centimeters square is desirable. Crop growth. The crop growth is slow till mid-January and picks up gradually till early February. As the season warms up, there is high activity in crop growth, increase in height, branching and formation, and stray flowers may be seen in the crop. Bud formation is profuse in March. There is all-round growth in the plants. The early former beds open into flowers. Hence the plucking of flower has to be also selective all through the crop cycle. With sudden rise in the temperature from 33 degrees centigrade to 39 degrees centigrade, within a few days heavy seed setting and plant maturity will be observed in the crop. There is seed shedding, and in the next year a self-germinated crop is observed. Irrigation. As the roots of the plants are shallow, the plant is unable to draw moisture from the lower moist horizon of the soil and therefore needs frequent irrigation to maintain an optimum moisture level. Irrigation during the bloom period is helpful in increasing the flower yield. One additional flush of flower is obtained and seed formation is delayed. Crotches observed that irrigation at the rosette stage increased the yield substantially. On alkaline soil, the crop is irrigated more frequently and about 6 to 8 irrigations are required during the crop cycle. Good performance is obtained if the soil is kept moist, but flooding should be avoided. Manures and fertilizer. The effect of nitrogen is very marked on the fresh flowers and oil yield, whereas that of phosphorus, potassium is negligible. Datta and Singh observed that the application of nitrogen in the form of ammonium sulfate at 40 kg per hectare significantly increased fresh flower and oil yield, while the oil content decreased from 0.64 to 0.59%. Addition of organic matter increases the humus content of such soil, therefore improves the crop performance. Application of 15 to 25 ton per hectare of farmyard manure is proved beneficial before transplanting. El Hamidi et al. Advocates the ratio of 2:2 for nitrogen and phosphorus for obtaining the highest yield. Application of nitrogen at a higher level caused a notable decrease in the chamomile percentage, and Palm and Mahelopa found that the application of phosphorus and potassium at 50 kg per hectare each in autumn before sowing and application of nitrogen at 50 kg per hectare in early spring was responsible for satisfactory crop growth. However, however, neither neither volatile oil nor chamomile content was affected. On saline alkaline soil, Singh found that plants showing good response to nitrogen and phosphorus fertilizer, application of 20 to 25 ton per hectare of farmyard manure was useful before transplanting the crop. Mishra and Kapoor found that the optimum dose of nitrogen phosphorus to be between 50 to 60 kg nitrogen per hectare and 50 kg phosphorus per hectare. It is reported that nitrogen significantly increased the contents of alpha bisabolol and chamomile, but significantly decreased the contents of bisabolol oxides A and B in the essential oil. Nitrogen significantly increased essential oil yield per unit dry flower weight in both Bohemia and Tisane varieties. The quantities of essential oil in chamomile was inversely related to its quality in terms of alpha bisabolol and chamomilines. No deficiency symptoms of trace elements have been observed on the crop in the country so far. It has reported the good effect of the sulfates of manganese and cobalt and borax on lime soil, whereas also indicated that combined application of boron and molybdenum increased diet matter significantly. Weed control. There are many herbicides for the control of weeds in Chamomilla. Generally, 3 to 4 beatings are required for good crop. The application of 1 to 1.5 kg per hectare of sodium salt of 2,4-dichlorophenoxyacetic acid means 2,4-D About 4 weeks after transplanting gave good control of weeds for 4 weeks. The experimental results of researchers in other countries suggest that herbicides such as atrazine, prometrine, prometrine, propyzamide, propyzamide, chloroprophene, micocorp, micoprop, trifluralin, limorons gave satisfactory control of weeds, but these should be used with caution. It was also found that Avalon was the best selective weedicide. Herbicide treated crop had lower chamomile content and bisabolol content was lower in the second harvest as herbicide interfere with the metabolism of secondary products. Certain herbicides have little influence on the total essential oil content, but greater differences were found in the quantitative composition of useful substances. On saline alkali soils, only one through breeding and hoeing 1 month after transplanting may be enough, as the plant once established smoothers the weed and no further weeding is required. It was reported that weed removal during 5 to 11 weeks after planting the crop was necessary to obtain a higher yield of the flower and oil. The uncontrolled weed growth caused 34.4% reduction in the dry flower yield as compared with the weed-free condition. The application of oxychlorophene 0.6 kg per hectare gave higher return. Harvesting is the most labor-intensive operation in chamomile cultivation, accounting for a major portion of the cost of production. The success of chamomilla cultivation as a commercial venture lies in how efficiently and effectively one can collect the flowers at the right stage during the peak flowering season, extending over a period of 3 to 6 weeks during March to April. Flowering is so profuse that practically every alternate day at least 30 to 40 units of labor will be required to be employed to pluck the flowers from an area of 0.25 to 0.3 hectare. Flower plucking is a selective process as flowers in all stages, namely buds, semi-opened buds, flowers in all stages of bloom appear on the plants. Flowers at the near full bloom stage give the best quality of the product. Hence, care has to be exercised to see that as little as possible buds, stems, leaves, and extraneous material is plucked. Flowering will be observed on plants here and there all over the field from the later half of the February, and these flowers are plucked at the appropriate stage. Flowers Flowers are produced in flushes and 4 to 5 flushes are obtained. The second, third and fourth flushes are the major contributor to flower yield. The peak period of plucking is between the second week of March and the third week of April in North India. In normal soil, Singh obtained a maximum yield of 7,637 kg of fresh flowers, the average being 3,500 to 4,000 kg per hectare. In saline alkaline soil, Singh obtained a yield of 3,750 kg fresh flowers per hectare. Temperature affects the number of flowers per kg. The weight of 1,000 flowers is reduced from 130 to 80 gram by the second week of April. Disease and pest. The various insects, fungi, viruses have been reported which attack the chamomile crop. The following fungi are known to attack this plant: white rust, powdery mildew of different types, and yellow virus causes were damage to this plant. In the year 1960-64, when the crop was cultivated in the regional research station laboratory Jammu, no incidence of disease was reported. In early March, the incidence of leaf blight caused by Alternaria species was observed in the crop. A spray of vanillate and 0.1% control the disease. Fluster reported that black bean aphids were feeding on chamomilla in the insect Nicias minor, cause shedding of chamomilla flowers, whereas Autographa carrison causes defoliation of the plant. The one spray of the phosphothane 0.2% controls successfully aphid infestation. On chamomile with methyl bromide 3 kg to 100 meters cube proved satisfactory as a fumigant against pest infestation. Aphastia elutella in the desiccated herb of chamomile in the Giza region of Egypt was found to be associated with the roots of chamomile. Besides damaging the cultivated crop, chamomile fungi and insects also cause extensive damage to the dried flowers during storage and reduce the quality of the dried raw product. This is because dried chamomile, the flowers in particular, contain a large amount of hydrophilic constituent sugars, flavonoids, mucilages, phenyl carbonic acid, amino acids, choline, and salts, and all such mammalian herbs are hygroscopic. Microbiological deterioration caused by fungal agents occurs in a very short time. Thus, at the marginal condition of the dry product, the most xerophilic species modes of the species Aspergillus and penicillin form first. The metabolism of bacteria and fungi releases more and more moisture for the more demanding organisms such as Fusarium and Rhizophus. So the attack continued to develop in a kind of cascade effect. The metabolic excretion from the microbiological agents also make the stored products smell musty or damp, which is rated very negatively in terms of quality. In addition, there is a risk, but the stored product will be contaminated with mycotoxin, which are a health hazard. The dry products is also a favorite habitat for certain insects. Larvae and beetle generally damage the stored products by eating away and polluting it with excreta and webs. This considerably reduces the quality and leads to a total deterioration. In a short time, the main stalk pests that affect the drug are Plodia, copper red Indian meal, moth, and dark brown thief beetle, and yellow brown thief beetle, and smooth spider beetle, and smooth spider beetle, etc. Co-cultivation. Patra et al. Reported that the chamomile is grown as a winter season crop and therefore fits well in rotation with major summer kharif season crops such as paddy, maize, and others. It may follow pulses such as green, gram, seasoning pea, and other summer vegetables such as okra, cucumber, and others. It can be grown even after early maturing brassicas. Chamomile can be grown on the residual soil fertility preceding green manuring and crops that are heavily fertilized. It can be grown as an intercrop with many arable crops. In 1999, Mishral reported intercropping of celery plus chamomile, ajwain plus chamomile, fennel plus chamomile, and soya plus chamomile, all in 1:1 ratio. Sowing of the main crop was done on 2nd November, and 8 weeks old seedlings of chamomile were transplanted in the first week of January. Spacing of 45 into 20 centimeter was maintained for all the crops. Dried biogas slurry was supplied at the time of land preparation, and 3 irrigations were given to the crops. Chamomile started blooming from the second week of March, and 3 flower pickings between March 25 to April 19 were done manually at an interval of 7 to 10 days. Also, chamomile has been found to be a suitable intercrop with aromatic grasses such as lemon grass, palmarosa, which remain dormant in winter. Thank you very much, and please subscribe, like, comment, and share.